This video will discuss the biggest X factors for the Knicks this season. In sports, X factors are players that can impact a team in a huge way, but aren't necessarily all-stars. So while Julius Randle is clearly the biggest impact player on the Knicks, he isn't an X factor. Here are the three biggest X factors on the Knicks for the 2021-22 season. The first and probably the biggest X factor for the Knicks this season is Kemba Walker. Kemba was discarded by the Celtics like trash, but he has the chance to help the Knicks be one of the top seeds in an improved Eastern Conference. He may not be Charlotte Hornets Kemba anymore, but he's still a pretty good player. Last year, Kemba missed the first month of the season because he had to get a procedure on his knee, and when he finally started playing again, he looked like a shell of himself. But as the year went on, Kemba played much better. In the last 20 games of last season, Kemba averaged 20 points and 5 assists per game on 44% shooting. If Kemba can play for the Knicks like he played in the second half of last season, he'll have a huge impact on winning. Kemba's scoring and playmaking will improve the Knicks' offense and open up opportunities for his teammates, and his excellent three-point shooting will improve the spacing on the floor from last year. But where Kemba can really show his value is in the playoffs. The main issue with the Knicks last year in the postseason was the lack of shot creation outside of Julius Randle. When Randle struggled in the playoffs, there was no one other than Derrick Rose that could be counted on to create their own shot. Kemba's ability to score will give the Knicks another excellent scoring option while relieving pressure from Julius Randle. Kemba will also provide the Knicks with an excellent closer at the end of games. He's still a very clutch player. His step-back game winner for UConn in the 2011 National Championship game is one of the best game winners in college basketball history. For all of Julius Randle's strengths, he's definitely not a closer. Kemba is still very clutch, and he should be the guy that takes the Knicks' last shot at the end of games. Of course, the risk with Kemba is that his knee might not hold up, and he could continue to miss games due to injury. Kemba is 31, and the fact that he had to get stem cells injected in his knee last year is a major red flag. If Kemba can return to all-star form, that majorly increases the Knicks' ceiling as a team, but if he continues to get hurt or falls off a cliff due to his knee problems, then the Kemba signing will be a major flop. For this reason, Kemba is a huge X factor for the Knicks this season. The second biggest X factor for the Knicks this season is RJ Barrett. Barrett made a massive leap in his second year. After an inefficient rookie year, he became a huge factor for the Knicks on both ends of the floor. His averages improved across the board, and he became the Knicks' second leading scorer and one of their best perimeter defenders. What's really impressive about RJ is that he's a very good player and he's only 21 years old. The sky is truly the limit for him if he continues to grind hard. This upcoming season, the Knicks need RJ to not only take on an even larger defensive responsibility, but also increase his offensive production. Last season, it was Reggie Bullock who guarded the other team's best player, but now it's RJ who's going to take on that role. RJ is a pretty good defender, so he's definitely up to the task. And on offense, RJ is a good scorer off the bounce, and his spot-up shooting is great, but the next step for him offensively is to become better at shooting off the bounce and better at finishing at the rim. If RJ can make another leap in his third year, this should become the season that he puts up over 20 points per game while impacting the game at an even greater level defensively. If RJ can reach an all-star level, then this can really help to increase the Knicks' ceiling as a team. For that reason, RJ is another big X factor for the Knicks. The last X factor I will discuss is Mitchell Robinson. When healthy, Mitch is very good on both ends of the floor. Between his rim protection, rebounding, and switchability, he's an elite defensive center while also being a great lob target on the offensive end. But of course, the big knock on Mitch is injuries, as he only played about 30 games last year. But despite his injuries, don't get it twisted, he's by far the best big man on the roster. While Nerlens Noel is also great defensively, Mitch is miles better for the simple reason that he's a great lob target. Noel has hops, but he has no hands, while Mitch can catch passes like an NFL wide receiver. Mitch will thrive in a new Knicks offense that has 4 legit shooters and shot creators in the starting lineup. In pick and roll situations, defenses will have to pick between allowing a Mitch lob or packing the paint and allowing a good look from 3. Because of that great two-way impact, Mitch is a huge X factor for the Knicks this season, and with this being a contract year for him, he's got all the motivation in the world to have a breakout year. Anyway guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Who do you think is the Knicks' biggest X factor this season? Tell me in the comments. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed the content and want to see more just like it. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.